Hello, beautiful souls. This is Dr. Maya Angel with a quick discussion on signs and synchronicities. So I was at work and I was guided on my break to hop on by the divine to have a quick conversation about signs and synchronicities. What I heard was, you need to jump on, you need to deliver this message, you need to get it out there. And so here I am. So basically, my information about signs and synchronicities are based on both personal experiences as well as experiences that I've read of, that others have had, as well as research that I've done. So now, what I notice about signs and synchronicities is that they come at specific points in time of your journey, different numbers, and at different frequency rates, okay? So for instance, when I first recognized that I had a twin flame and I thought it was just really just silly nonsense, and that I was overthinking and I was making things up, I would see the number 1111 all of the time. I mean, everywhere I went. So for instance, I would be in my kitchen and none of my clocks were in sync. So my microwave clock was not in sync with the coffee maker, was not in sync with the stove. One day I went into my kitchen and all of the times were in sync, and it was set 11:11, and it sent chills down my spine. And again, I thought that was just being silly. That I was overthinking it. Then there was one time that I went to I was actually riding on a school bus, and all of a sudden one of the students that I was supervising mentioned, hey, look, it's 11:11, okay? And so I know that was the universe speaking to me, drawing my attention again to that particular number. I went one time to get my car inspected around the same time period, and the time stamp read 11:11. And so this was a time where I was checking up on my divine masculine. One time I just said, we both were on WhatsApp, right? And so you can check the person's last scene. And I said to him, if you hear me right now, and if you are truly my twin flame, come on, okay? And it happened that he would come on at 11:11. That happened 2 or 3 times for me. And that's how I knew that this was an energetic experience that I was entering into. Okay. So years before I met my divine masculine, however, I would see the number 222 quite frequently. I would wake up every morning, seemed like clockwork, for the longest at 222, 2 o'clock in the morning. I would also see the numbers. This is when I began to really start to elevate in my understanding of the world around me and the energies, and understanding that there are different dimensions, to 3D to 4D to 5D, and where I started to really experience 4D, like where I would find, lately I've been a little cocky with the with the universe, just a little bit like, oh, you send me numbers all the time, what else you have for me? And they started to drop feathers all over the place. And that's when I knew, I said, okay, well, obviously, you're teaching me a lesson. And so I would notice, so in the beginning of my twin flame journey, I would see the number 1111, and I would also get a vibration. So it would be, I would drive up and down 495 when I was, relocating from New Jersey, going to the DC area. And I was going on job interviews, and I was just asking the universe, if this is meant for me, please send me a sign. And I would see license plates with 1111 consistently. The back of buses 1111. It would say it would take 11 minutes and 11 seconds to get across the tunnel. And so, these were just confirmations for me that the universe was working with me and working through me. Okay. And so that is what I experienced. I also would experience seeing my divine masculine's name pop up in certain areas that I wouldn't really expect to see it, on mouse traps. His name is a brand of a mousetrap. So I would see it there. I would see his name on billboards. I would see his name. People would mention his name in various area settings, and I wouldn't even be thinking about him. And then I would get that shockwave throughout my body. So as I continued along my spiritual journey, other things started to happen to me as well. One time I had a moth that showed up in the dark, okay? And we know that moths are, in the day of light, It was the light of day when the moth would show up. And this was, really, really freaked me out because the moth stood there and kind of danced a little jig in front of me and would not move until I actually acknowledged the moth, okay? And so I realized that was an animal totem that the universe was sending to me. Another sign and synchronicity that I would experience is, and also when I experience these signs and synchronicities, I would get a vibration, like a feeling, okay? Which I later learned was my Kundalini awakening as well, okay? So as I grew, okay, I would also see the number then 444, okay, would appear everywhere. Okay, so this was like around the time where I recognized I was a twin flame. I was going through an awakening. I went on a 10-day water fast, and I started to research more and more about energies, came across some really great readers. Aluna Ash 9D happens to be one of them, so check her out because she's got a lot of great material on her channel. So I just wanted to shout that beautiful soul out because she does amazing work. And so I would start to see the number 444 everywhere I went. Again, usually on clocks, on the back of license plates, and this would be during the same, like, when the synchronicities, when I would become bombarded by them, it would be in a short period of time, usually during the same day, okay? Another type of sign and synchronicity I would get is just really, a lot of times I would see butterflies, okay? So some butterflies happen to become my animal totem. So there was like one time I was like really just done with the whole twin flame journey. I was packing it in. I'm like, these people are crazy. I'm crazy. I'm in love with a ghost, right? Is what I was thinking. And I will never forget when I first asked the universe to send me a sign if my twin flame was actually my twin flame. I said, please send me two butterflies, monarch butterflies, that is, together as a pair. And the universe did that. So one day when I was leaving work and I was like done with the whole twin flame journey, I left out of my school building and I was just bombarded with a parade of monarch butterflies. They just danced in front of me and it sent chills up my spine. I looked up into the clouds and I said to the universe, okay, I got it. Okay, so thank you for sending me the signs. Thank you for sending me the synchronicities. And what would happen is every single time I would try to detach or say, forget this, I don't want to do this anymore, I would be bombarded with these signs and synchronicities, okay? Now, as I started to evolve spiritually and started to do some more work around the matrix, learning about the various layers of the matrix, the players of the matrix, researching secret societies, which I've always had an understanding of, these, the shadow governments and things of that nature, and, conspiracy theories, and basically learning about ancient worlds and religions. And as I started to delve into that more, I noticed that I then started to experiencing some more supernatural type of energies, okay? So one happened to be, and I remember this so clearly, is the first time that I actually astral traveled, okay? And during that time, I will make another video that is a video all by itself. But the first time I astral traveled, I seen the number 555. I mean, all day long. Okay. So, and I will never forget, that, my whole experience of astral traveling, which I'll tell you another time, that it was like around the same time I was going through a water fast, and I was really delving deep into this whole energetic. I would say I was spending most of my time in the 4D and 5D. I had completely detached from the matrix at that point in time, to the point where I felt like a ghost. Okay. I'm like, I need to get my foot planted back on solid ground, because, I'm about to vanish into the atmosphere, and I think I still have more work to do here on the planet Earth. So let me try to get one foot back on solid ground. But I'm saying all this to say that, it is, these signs and synchronicities, they don't just come like one at a time. They usually come in waves, and they're incessant. Okay. So it's like, look at here, look at here, look at here. So what, for me, anytime I was experiencing 1111, I would be thinking about my divine masculine, the twin flame journey, asking the universe, is this real? Is he really coming to my dreams? Can I really feel him at night? Is he really holding me? Like, that is how close energetically I was to my divine masculine. I would even talk to him telepathically. And one of the tools that I would use to confirm that I wasn't crazy and I wasn't making anything up was the use of WhatsApp, right? Because I would typically just go on there and say, if you hear me right now, please come on. And he would come on. Okay. And that would happen sometimes 444 or 333. So that was just an instrument that the universe helped me to go to, so that I knew that, that was something I could use. So once I realized, okay, this energy is real. Okay. I then started to experience the number 333, which was usually when I felt a little bit alone in this whole spiritual awakening. I always felt like this warmth of angels like comforting me. Okay. And so that was kind of like, I felt, soothing around that time. Then with the 444, I would feel like spiritually in charge. Like, yes, I know that I'm a divine being. I know that I'm a soul here in an avatar. I know that there's great work that I have to do. I know that my divine masculine is somehow attached to this great work that I'm going to do. Like, we're going to come together and we're going to work as a team. And I'm going to continue along the spiritual journey. What other readers can I look at? What other material can I read? How often can I meditate? And so that's where I was around the time that I kept seeing 444, that type of vibration. 555 is when I completely first discovered like this, like seeing energy. Okay. And I will have to do another voice recording on my 555 experience all by itself, because that really, I said, was the first time I actually was frightened a little bit by the whole spiritual ascension process. Okay. I would also hear like ringing in the ear, like a like noise in my ear every time I seen 555. And I would also experience like a tingling feeling during the time I seen 555. And so, these were some of the experiences that I had when it came to signs and synchronicities. So what I'm realizing now is that each sign, each number basically is a way to help you to advance spiritually. Okay. And it helps to unlock certain codes within your DNA so that you can be a better conduit of the energies, A, that you're receiving, and then B, so that you can also receive confirmation that you are spiritually growing and you're ascending. Okay. I'll never forget the time I was standing in my kitchen, And I realized that this is a matrix. None of this is real. If you close your eyes, all you're going to see is darkness. So everything around me is truly darkness, and it's infinite. Okay. And it was the first time I recognized that, wait a minute, none of this is real. I'm a soul, and an avatar in a body. In my body is processing information and schema that helps me to make sense of the physical world around me. And that was around the time that I kept seeing the numbers 555. Okay. So I'm just felt the need to share this experience. If you've experienced this before, please leave a comment just to help those who are along their ascension process to feel like they have a supportive community. And also, if there's anything else that you've experienced, please leave a comment. I would love to hear your story as well. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. I am so trying to build this community and this channel to truly help those divine feminines and masculines, I'm using that term energetically interchangeably, to really have a platform where you can call your own and we can just have these really far out conversations without judgment. And also, for any of you who are interested in just getting a energy read, I'm in the process of building my website, and so that will be up shortly, because obviously, part of the ascension process and working with energies and understanding energies is that now you can tap into your psychic abilities